I don't know what to say.
Work, 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 work.
Hey everybody, this is Lindy.
And I'm Russell.
From Love Create Celebrate. Welcome back to our channel where we share all of our DIY and home renovations. Today we're sharing a brand new Makeup Vanity for me.
For you in our bedroom.
In our bedroom.
It's actually kind of like the last piece in our bedroom, so it's exciting.
We've been working away at this bedroom for quite a while. We actually added a whole new wall, expanded the closet, expanded the bathroom, added a fireplace, and this vanity is really the last piece of the puzzle. So we wanted to create this kind of floating vanity top and actually used resin to make a faux marble look.
We were really excited to partner up with ETI, and they supplied all the resin and pigments for this project.
So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it.
This is the wall that we're going to add the Makeup Vanity to. It's right beside the fireplace that we just installed in our primary bedroom.
I'm getting a vanity. Okay, so the plan is...
If Lindy was a mirror. There.
The plan is mirror, little desk height vanity floating, and then
Stool
or bench underneath.
Yeah.
We are going to use resin on the vanity top and hopefully do a little faux marble look.
Yeah, if we can get it to work. And I mean, we haven't done a lot with resin, so it'll be a bit of a DIY experiment, but that's what we're all about. So.
And then I'm gonna put a mirror up here.
You're putting it where?
That is brass or gold or something to bring some warmth in. I found one on Facebook Marketplace, and Russell negotiated the price down.
It was crazy to start with.
From $15 to $10. There's Russell in my new vanity mirror. Oh yeah, that's nice actually.
30?
That's a nice height.
So what else do we need to worry about?
So you need to find studs.
Oh, it's right here.
every single time.
Found it.
Every single
See,
time.
I'm a problem solver. So this, I can fit 3 brackets based on the width of our shelf if we're hitting the studs. So these are in, they're level, and then next step is to put on the countertop, and then I'll scribe where these are gonna live, and then I can bring it to the shop and start modifying it for the brackets. So, yeah.
In the shop, I took the board and got it ready for holes for the brackets. I used my drill press because I had access to one. I made sure the board was level on all edges, and this way it would make sure my holes were as accurate as possible. I drilled 3 pilot holes to start to center the holes, and then I switched to the proper diameter, but this bit wasn't long enough. So I actually had to switch to a spade bit with an extension in order to get the correct depth for the brackets. I used a chisel to cut a space to allow the bracket to sit flush with the wood. We were getting ready for our resin pour, but we wanted to add a rounded edge to allow the epoxy to pour over. We gave the table a light sand, and then we added a couple coats of white primer. This was for a couple reasons. We wanted to seal the wood, but we also wanted to have a white tabletop, so the primer seals it and hides the wood grain. Here's all the products that we used for our epoxy pour. We made sure we had the right measuring cups. We used ETI's Envirotex Light epoxy,
and we used their Casting Craft opaque pigment in black and white.
Some squeegees, a mixer. We had plastic that we could use to protect the sawhorses in the floor, some good heavy-duty gloves for when we're doing the epoxy pour, a level, and some stands to help hold the piece up. We started off by covering our sawhorse and floor with plastic, and then we leveled out our board. You want to make sure your board is perfectly level because this is going to affect how your epoxy pours off the board. When pouring epoxy, you want to make sure you're following the instructions. Here, we're measuring the resin and hardener individually in cups, making sure we have exact measurements and then combining them and mixing them in a pail. The Envirotex light is really easy to calculate and measure because it's a 1-to-1 ratio by volume. Because we wanted a white base, we added white pigment and mixed until we're happy with the color. We started by pouring the epoxy into the center of the board and then used a foam roller and a squeegee to push it out to the sides. Ultimately, you want to skim coat everything and leave a little bit of excess in the middle so that it can self-level.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Crazy.
I'm just learning.
Since we only used some of the epoxy that we mixed, we found that we didn't have enough epoxy to flow nicely over the edges. So we added a bit more to help the leveling process. In this clip here, you can see how it flows naturally over the rounded edges when you have enough epoxy. We added some heat to the surface of the epoxy once we had all the white down, and what this does is thins out the epoxy, allowing the air bubbles to escape and gives you a nice smooth surface. Next, we wanted to have some gray, so we took the white and added some black pigment until we're happy with the color. The epoxy has a total work time of about 20 to 30 minutes, so we let the white sit for 20 minutes before we added the gray. We used the gray to add veins to the piece to get a faux marble look. The key to this process is to not overthink it and just to let the gray run naturally. We dipped the stir stick into the gray epoxy, adding random lines throughout the piece, trying not to overlap. We added extra gray to the edges to make it look like the lines extended down the vertical face. We also added some gray to fill in some of the negative spaces. We used a squeegee along the gray lines to blend the color and also to make it look more like natural stone. With the squeegee, we pushed the gray epoxy into the white on either side of the line. Then, as the epoxy self-leveled, it created the natural marbled look. Don't forget about your edges. You can use the same technique to blend the colors there as well. Where we felt there was too much negative space, we went back and added some more color and blended it in. As the epoxy self-levels, it might push away some of the gray on the edges. We had to go back and touch up some of these spots. If you have any voids that the epoxy didn't fill in, you can use a small brush to gently touch them up. As the epoxy continues to set and roll over the edges, you're going to have to keep coming back to check for any drips. We used a foam roller to level any of these out for the first 1 to 2 hours. The epoxy takes about 72 hours to have a full cure, so during this time you don't want to move or touch the epoxy surface.
So,
I'm really happy. I mean, for our first epoxy pour, I have one little divot here, and there's a little bit of like dust or something right there.
The finish though
It's
is
beautiful. It's so
nice.
level, except
this
for
rounded edge
it's
is
nice.
perfect.
Yeah, it was the right profile.
And how this, like when
The
it
vein,
trails over,
yeah.
that makes me very happy. I wish
we had
this had
one
worked
a
better
bit darker.
over here.
Because you lose.
This one's perfect. This is really nice in the corner.
You lose because this whole thing is flooding and slowly leveling it. It
Yeah, it
diluted.
drains it, yeah.
But
It's all right. It's that would be my only disappointment, that I don't see more on the edge. But other than that, I'm really happy with this.
After your epoxy is set, if you have any drips on the underside, you can use a sander to level these out. As the epoxy was setting, Lindy took some time to fix up a thrifted mirror that she had found for $10. She taped off the mirror, wiped down the surface with acetone, and gave it a quick coat of spray paint. Once the epoxy was fully cured and the paint dry, we installed both pieces. To give the countertop a seamless look, we added a little bit of silicone between the wall and the edge. Lindy was really happy with how this turned out. The faux marble looked great, and we're really excited to use this new space. Honestly, this project was a little bit of an experiment for us to see if this would work on a larger scale, but based on how this turned out, we would definitely try this again in the future. We were really surprised on how easy this process was. The actual pour only took 30 minutes, and the results actually looked like real stone.
So, what did you guys think?
We're obviously very happy with it. It really helped finish off the room. I can't wait to share this entire room reveal with you because there's been a lot of changes in here.
This one also makes me really happy because it was on a budget. We found a thrifted mirror, we used scrap wood, and I mean, technically you'd buy the resin, but still, this was pretty well done. Oh, and even the little stool was on sale, so yeah. Win, win, win.
Functionally, it is so much nicer to do my hair and makeup over there. There's lots of natural light and a huge mirror right close to my face. So it's been really nice already, and I've only had it for a few days.
I agree. I can't wait to start doing like my next beard shaving by the mirror.
Don't not shave your beard by my mirror.
Well, then I can just
do not. No,
it
do
gets
not.
nice, so.
No, no, no. I hope you guys enjoyed another budget-friendly makeover. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, hit the bell so you don't miss out on future DIY and home renovation videos.
Thanks so much for watching.